Hello, world citizens. Welcome back to the channel where we celebrate the magic of travel. Today, my friends, that magic is San Francisco. Look, San Francisco is iconic. The Golden Gate Bridge, the cable cars, the sourdough bread. It's a city that screams America. But lately, that scream has started to sound a lot more like a cry for help. So, buckle up, buttercups, because we're diving headfirst into the dark side of San Francisco. Stay tuned. It's going to be an eye-opening journey. Before we jump in, subscribe to support us. It's free to you. San Francisco. A city so captivating, so full of promise, that people flock to it from all corners of the globe. But here's the thing about San Francisco. It's really good at selling a fantasy. Behind those charming Victorian facades and artisanal coffee shops, there's a darkness lurking. It's time we stopped ignoring the red flags and had a serious conversation about what's really going on. Let's talk about money, baby. Or rather, the lack thereof. Because if you're planning on moving to San Francisco, you better be prepared to empty your bank account faster than you can say Silicon Valley. This insane cost of living has created a city of haves and have-nots, where tech millionaires sip $12 cold brew next to people struggling to afford a loaf of bread. And the worst part? It's pushing out the very people who make San Francisco so unique and vibrant. Look, we've all been there. It's Friday night, you've had a few too many tequila sodas, and suddenly, that questionable kebab from the street vendor is looking mighty appealing. But here's the thing. In San Francisco, that questionable kebab could be laced with fentanyl, and that, my friends, is a game changer. The fentanyl crisis in San Francisco is like a bad trip that just won't end. This potent synthetic opioid is everywhere, and it's killing people at an alarming rate. The saddest part? Many of those struggling with addiction are homeless, caught in a vicious cycle of poverty, mental illness, and substance abuse. It's a crisis that demands urgent attention and compassion. Chapter 4. Sex, Lies, and San Francisco. A complicated history. San Francisco, land of free love, tie-dye, and, well, let's just say the city has a long and complicated history with the adult industry. From its early days as a Barbary Coast boomtown to the rise of the sexual revolution, San Francisco has always been a place where people felt empowered to explore their sexuality, often for a price. And that's the tightrope San Francisco has been walking for decades, trying to balance the rights and safety of sex workers with the very real concerns about trafficking, exploitation, and the darker underbelly of the industry. The city's history is a testament to its resilience and its ongoing struggle to find harmony between freedom and safety. Chapter 6. San Francisco, where your TripAdvisor review might include a mugging. So, you're planning a trip to San Francisco, huh? The city by the bay, known for its iconic landmarks, vibrant culture, and unfortunately, its rising crime rates. It's a place where the beauty of the Golden Gate Bridge can be overshadowed by the harsh realities of urban life. Got your itinerary all mapped out? Ready to explore the winding streets, the historic cable cars, and the eclectic neighborhoods? It's a city that promises adventure at every corner, but also demands a certain level of vigilance. Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, Fisherman's Wharf, all the tourist traps, I see. These are the must-see spots, the places that fill your Instagram feed and make your friends back home green with envy. But there's more to San Francisco than just these postcard-perfect locations. Well, allow me to offer some unsolicited advice, pack your common sense, and maybe a can of pepper spray, because San Francisco's charm can fade faster than a sourdough starter left in a hot car. The city's allure is undeniable, but so are its challenges. From petty theft to more serious crimes, it's a place where you need to stay alert. The Tenderloin, for example, is notorious for its open drug use, homelessness, and general air of you probably shouldn't be here after dark. It's a stark contrast to the city's more polished areas, a reminder of the economic disparities that exist within this urban landscape. And while the city is trying to address these issues, it's a bit like trying to put out a dumpster fire with a squirt gun. Efforts are being made, but progress is slow and often feels insufficient. the challenges are complex, rooted in systemic issues that require more than just surface-level solutions. So, by all means, come to San Francisco. Enjoy the breathtaking views, the rich history, and the diverse culture. Take in a Giants game, ride a cable car, and savor some of the best food the city has to offer. But do so with a sense of awareness. Just remember to keep your wits about you, and maybe consider investing in some travel insurance. After all, a little caution can go a long way in the city by the bay. It's a place of contrasts, where beauty and danger coexist, and where your experience can be as wonderful or as challenging as you make it. So stay safe, stay smart, and enjoy all that San Francisco has to offer. Close your eyes and imagine San Francisco. What do you see? Cable cars, maybe? The Golden Gate Bridge shrouded in fog? A tech bro on a scooter frantically checking his cryptocurrency portfolio? Now picture this. Dark alleys, smoky speakeasies, and mobsters in pinstripe suits. Their fedoras casting long shadows on the fog-choked streets. That's right, folks. San Francisco has a history with organized crime that's as colorful as a Chinatown parade. From human trafficking rings to sophisticated financial scams, the criminal underworld has simply adapted to the times. And today, law enforcement continues to battle these ever-evolving threats on the streets of San Francisco. San Francisco, a city known for its progressive values, its innovative spirit, and its breathtaking views. From the iconic Golden Gate Bridge to the bustling streets of Chinatown, this city has always been a beacon of change and creativity. But beneath the surface of this picturesque city lies a darker, more troubling reality. San Francisco has an uncanny ability to elect officials who make you question the very definition of public service. These are the people who are supposed to represent the best interests of the community. Yet time and again, they find themselves embroiled in scandals that would make even the most seasoned political observers shake their heads in disbelief. Because let's be real, folks, the level of corruption in San Francisco politics is enough to make even the most cynical observer roll their eyes and mutter, "Here we go again." It's almost as if corruption has become a part of the city's DNA, woven into the very fabric of its political landscape. From bribery scandals that would make Boss Tweed blush to cronyism so blatant it's practically performance art, San Francisco has seen it all. The city has become a stage where the actors are politicians, and the script is filled with deceit, betrayal, and broken promises. Take, for instance, the numerous courtroom dramas that have unfolded over the years. High-profile corruption trials have become almost a regular feature in the city's news cycle. Each new scandal seems to outdo the last, leaving residents and observers alike wondering just how deep the rabbit hole goes. And it's not just the big names that are involved. Cronyism trickles down to the lower levels of government, affecting everyday decisions that impact the lives of San Francisco's residents. From zoning laws to public contracts, the influence of corruption can be felt in almost every aspect of city life. San Francisco has a long and storied political history, filled with moments of both triumph and disgrace. The city's political landscape is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of ambition, power, and, unfortunately, corruption. It's a history that serves as a reminder of the challenges that come with governing a city as dynamic and diverse as San Francisco. So, the next time you see a San Francisco politician on TV promising a brighter future, remember that trust is like sourdough bread. It takes time and effort to cultivate, and it can be ruined in an instant by a bad batch of ingredients. The promises made during campaign season often crumble under the weight of reality, leaving residents disillusioned and distrustful. Trust, much like the city's famous sourdough bread, requires careful nurturing. It needs the right conditions to thrive, and even then, it can be fragile. One misstep, one bad decision, and the whole thing can fall apart, leaving a sour taste in the mouths of those who believed in the promise of something better. In a city where tech dreams and political nightmares coexist, the line between innovation and corruption often blurs. The same drive that fuels the city's technological advancements can also lead to ethical shortcuts and moral compromises. It's a delicate balance, one that San Francisco continues to struggle with. as it navigates the complexities of modern governance. As the sun sets over the city, casting a golden hue over its iconic skyline, one can't help but wonder what the future holds for San Francisco. Will it be a future defined by integrity and progress, or will the shadows of corruption continue to loom large? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the people of San Francisco deserve better, and it's up to them to demand the change they wish to see. San Francisco, a city of dazzling contrasts. Known for its iconic Golden Gate Bridge, its historic cable cars, and its vibrant cultural scene, San Francisco is a place where dreams are made and broken. It's a city that has always been at the forefront of change, from the gold rush to the summer of love, and now, the tech revolution. Where else can you find a Tesla parked next to a homeless encampment, or a tech CEO discussing venture capital while stepping over a used needle? This juxtaposition is not just a quirk of urban life. It's a glaring symptom of a deeper issue. The wealth generated by the tech industry has created a bubble of prosperity that seems impenetrable. Yet just outside this bubble, the reality is starkly different. It's a city of extremes, where the gap between the haves and the have-nots is wider than the Golden Gate Bridge, and just as impossible to ignore. The opulence of luxury homes stands in sharp contrast to the makeshift shelters of the homeless. This disparity is not just economic. It's a social chasm that affects the very fabric of the community. On one hand, you have Silicon Valley, a gleaming utopia of innovation, where billionaires are minted faster than sourdough bread. The tech giants headquartered here are not just companies. They are empires that wield enormous influence over the global economy. The campuses of these tech behemoths are like small cities, complete with every amenity one could imagine, designed to keep their employees within the bubble of productivity and comfort. On the other hand, you have a homeless crisis so severe, it's like a scene out of a Dickens novel, but with better Wi-Fi. The streets are lined with tents and makeshift shelters, a stark reminder of the human cost of this economic disparity. The homeless population is not just a statistic. These are real people with real stories, each one a testament to the failure of a system that prioritizes profit over people. And the saddest part? These two worlds aren't just coexisting, they're colliding. The influx of tech money has created a housing market that is out of reach for many, driving up rents and property values to astronomical levels. Longtime residents find themselves priced out of their own neighborhoods, forced to move further away, or, in the worst cases, onto the streets. The influx of tech money has driven up the cost of living to absurd levels, pushing out longtime residents and forcing many into homelessness. Protests against the high cost of living are becoming more frequent, as people demand affordable housing and fair wages. The city's infrastructure is straining under the pressure, and the social services are overwhelmed, unable to keep up with the growing need. The stark reality is that while some thrive in luxury, others struggle to survive on the streets, creating a city of heartbreaking contrasts. The tech industry has brought immense wealth to San Francisco, but it has also highlighted the deep inequalities that exist within the city. As the gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen, the question remains: can San Francisco find a way to bridge this divide, or will it continue to be a city of dazzling contrasts and heartbreaking realities? So, there you have it, folks. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly side of San Francisco. It's a city of contradictions, a place where breathtaking beauty collides with heartbreaking struggles. But here's the thing about San Francisco. Despite its flaws, it's still a city with heart. And hey, if they can't solve the housing crisis, at least they'll always have sourdough bread. A city worth saving? Absolutely.